life, love, relationships.
Wait, we're gonna give away all our secrets?
Welcome to the Man Perspective
With Kane Man.
and the Dawn.
Today on the Man Perspective, we're talking about friends who always want to or need to borrow money.
Oh, yeah. I just had that not too long ago. A guy, he called me up like about 4 hours ago to be precise, and he wanted to borrow $25. And I'm like, dude, I ain't got it, man. You know what I mean? Which really I didn't, because I had to give some money. I had to send some money. I had to spend like $400 to my son, who's down in Alabama, and, didn't get his job because of the COVID. So his company closed down. And so, he had to pay his rent. So he was kind of in the bind, you know what I mean? And I know it's hard for kids to want to ask their parents for the money, but I said, don't worry, I'll give it to you. And so I sent them some money, you know what I mean? Which was cool. But I've had friends who I've given $20 to, and damn it, they ain't paid me back. You understand? I had one guy ain't paid me back in 4 years. And on the fourth year, get this. Now, on the fourth year, because every time he saw me, of course, he ducks me, right? But I wasn't stressed because, like I said, $20, it's no big deal to me. I knew I wasn't going to get it back. So if I get it back, great. But if not, it was no big deal. I wasn't going to chase him down for 20 lousy bucks. All I knew is that he could never borrow $20 from me again, which, of course, they try. So he would always, hey, can I borrow $20? Dude, don't you owe me $20? Oh, okay. Yeah, that ends that conversation, right? So that conversation's gone. So now, one day, he came to me and gave me the $20 after like 5 years, 4 or 5 years. And I took that $20. I stuck that $20 in my pocket, man. And before it hit my pocket, you want to know what he said to me?
What he said?
Can I borrow that $20, man? Dude, I didn't wait it. I told him I didn't wait 5 years, 4 years for this $20 bill. Now you telling me you need it? Get the hell out of here, man. So get the hell out of here. And I walked away, man, with that $20 in my pocket. I said, dude, it took you that long just to pay me? And I wasn't stressed for it. But damn, man, $20,
It's the principle of the
That's
thing.
all right. And so my philosophy is I never go past 20. I'm not lending people $300-$400. You can forget about it. It ain't happening because I know I'm not going to see that money. You follow what I'm saying? I don't know if you had experience. You might be better than me, but I don't want to go more than $20. That's my limit. Ladies, do you want to improve your relationship with your man?
Fellas, do you want to improve the relationship with your lady?
Then tune in to The Man Perspective
with K-Man
and the Dog.
The funny thing is I actually just got a text message on my phone a few minutes ago. A friend asking me to borrow about $200.
Wow.
I've been burned a few times in the past, right? One friend, would occasionally borrow like, 20, 30, maybe 50 max, right? Never saw it back though, but didn't expect it, right? This other friend probably owes me around $2,000.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's over the course of, I would say, like 10 years, right? So, I mean, in hindsight, not a lot when you break it down, but it's added up over time.
Oh, yeah.
And I just kind of recently established that similar policy that you have with him saying, I don't mind that you borrow money. I'm not a bank, though. I don't have hundreds of dollars to hand out because I work for a living and I have bills to pay, too.
That's right.
So, you want to borrow money, that's fine. You got to keep it to a reasonable amount. And when you borrow it, you pay it back. When you pay it back, then the door opens to possibly borrowing it again in the future. But if you don't pay it back, the bank's closed, right? And I have to do that now because otherwise it's like I'm just like a free bank for them.
That's right.
Which I can't do that. So
to be honest with you really should.
I know.
Because once you get to that number, 200, 300, and see, like you said, it adds up because they'll hit you today, $20, you give it to them. And then next month, another $20, you give it to them, right? They still ain't paying. Then the next time, I bought $10. All right, you give it to them. Now that's $50 you didn't give this guy. And he ain't trying to pay you back, you see? So then another few months go around. Hey, can I borrow another $20? All right, you give it to him. Hey, can I borrow $10? Okay, you give it to him. And then 2 months go by, he sees you again, hey man, can I borrow $20? Then you realize, damn it, I done gave you $100 and you ain't thinking about trying to pay me back.
No. For me, what really kind of forced me to change the policy or put one in place was the fact that it almost became expected, right? That I would always be there to bail him out. And I guess I did it because, I make a decent salary now, but and obviously wasn't always like that. You work your way up through your career.
Right.
And he's more, I guess, a late bloomer, right? In career. And he really just started his career. He's not much younger than me. So he doesn't make a lot, right? And I understand it because I've been there. But he also doesn't know how to manage the money he does make. And because of that, while I'm empathetic to the point that, yeah, he doesn't make a lot of money, and I've been there, so I understand that. Now it's kind of like, well, you've been borrowing money from me for 10 years. You haven't paid it back.
Ain't thinking about paying it back. Keep that in mind. He ain't thinking about paying it back.
That's the thing. I never really expect it back because I don't ever believe I'm going to get it back.
Right.
But now it's kind of like, you're a little too free with asking because now it's like expected that I'll always have money to let you borrow.
Right.
And really, it ain't borrowing because I'm not getting it back. It's a gift, right?
There you go.
I'm all about good deeds and all that, but now it's kind of ridiculous.
That's right.
I think he's close to like the 2,000 mark at what he owes me over that 10 years. I'm kind of done with that now. So I didn't even bother responding to that text message. I'm going to hope he understands my silence as basically me saying no. Do you feel like life is boring? Perhaps your love life is at a loss? Maybe even your relationships are just a little bit sour. Well, we got the advice for you. Tune in to The Man Perspective, weekly for all the hot topics, and we can get your life, love, and relationships back into the swing of things on The Man Perspective with K-Man
and the Don. It's like the blind man who owed the guy money, right? And the guy runs into him, the blind man, and he says, "Hey, when you gonna pay my money?" This is the blind man saying, right? The other guy, he says, "When you gonna pay me my money?" And the blind guy says, "When I see you." And walks away. You understand? Okay. He's blind, right? There you go. He's blind. And he asks the blind man, "Hey, that blind man, he owes me money. Let me go walk up to him and, hey, when you gonna pay me my money?" "Yeah, when I see you."
That is funny.
Right. So that's how you have to think in terms of when people ask you money.
Yeah.
You understand? You got to think about the blind man when I see you, because that's how they going to pay you, when they see you. Okay? He's blind.
Which is never.
Right. Exactly. Which is never. Man's blind. He ain't paying you, pal. Okay? You might as well forget about that. But that's how it is. You understand? And you, once you realize that he's not going to pay you, he's not trying to pay you, and he's using you as a bank. That's why I say you have to learn to put a limit on things, and you have to put a limit on how many times they come to you, because it all adds up. Like you said, he got $2,000 from you from, hitting you up once a month, twice a month. You know what I'm saying? And it may be small and you don't think much about it. $5 here, $10 there, but it adds up. And before you know it, this guy's in for you for $2,000. You're like, how the hell that happened? Hell, you could have did something else with that $2,000 if you thought about it.
That's true.
If he put you in that type of situation. So, I always made it a point not to give no more than $20. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Back again. Dude, don't you owe me $20? You know what I mean? You gotta hit him. And believe me, it's happened plenty of times. I'll lend a guy $20. 2 months later, I see him. "Hey man, got bought $20. Hey dude, don't you owe me $20? And that cuts the conversation very short. And so, as the old saying goes, it cost you $20 for him to go his way. You feel what I'm saying? In other words, It cost you $20 for him not to keep bugging you about borrowing money. That was the cost.
Yeah.
But if you keep paying him, now it's not $20 anymore to keep him away. Now it's like $2,000.
Yep.
So now that person cost you $2,000 to not ever borrow money from you ever again. You follow? And that's way too much for you to have on your conscience, and way too much to have hit you in the wallet with. Like you said, it's been over the years, but that's how they get you. You try to be nice to people. Don't get me wrong. It's nice to give, but each time you give, it's a ding to you. You give to this one, you give to I'll give you another instance. I was in New York, right? And it was a guy by the turnstile. Okay. So I'm running, trying to catch the train. And the guy said, "Hey, man, can I have a quarter? Can I have a quarter?" Right? Something simple like that. And I'm like, dude, I don't have any change. You know what the guy said to me? He dug in his pocket, man, pulled out a whole bunch of quarters. I can make change. Oh, you son of a bitch. You sat here all day asking people for a quarter. Okay. And I come and I said, dude, I don't have any change. Don't worry, I can make change. And he digs in his pocket,
Oh man.
pulls out a handful of quarters. You understand? You've been sitting here begging all day for a quarter, 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 quarter. Can you give me a quarter? Can you give me a quarter? Here I come. I don't have change. You show me all these quarters that you got in your pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So now I'm like, the hell with you, dude. You got enough quarters.
And then he probably walks to his BMW where he parked it and goes back to his penthouse apartment.
Exactly. Exactly. That you're paying for. That you're paying for. You know what I mean? So, you try not to get caught up in that, in those little bit amounts. Like you said, it's a quarter today, but that quarter adds up. You know what I mean? If he's sitting there all damn day asking for a quarter, he's getting a whole bunch of quarters.
Absolutely.
So you got to put a limit on it, and you got to not let it exceed the amount per month of what you're going to lend out. I mean, don't get me wrong. You get caught in bad situations, and I get that. And I know if I'm caught in a bad situation, but hey, you know what I mean? I don't want to ask money like that, because then I know the indebtedness of having to pay somebody. Some people don't have a conscience. I do. So if I'm gonna borrow $200, trust me, I'm gonna, what I mean, I'm gonna try to pay it back first and foremost. You know what I mean? But some people they can borrow
Absolutely.
$200 and shit, borrow another $200 from you if need be, and think nothing of it.
Yeah, I can't do
I
that.
can't do that myself, but people do it, and they do it all the time.
Yeah.
And once you start borrowing, you start getting into paying Peter and robbing Paul and all that nonsense, man. You're never gonna make it
Yeah.
because you borrow too much. Sometimes you just got to do it out.
Yep.
That's what I do. I'll just do it out, man. What the
Me
heck?
too.
Just do it out. Just some things you just cut back on and call it a day. But when you get people that they just can't cut back and they spend, 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 like you said, it's a problem with money management and they can't keep track of their money.
It's cold outside. You know what that means. We're all staying indoors now. That's okay. Use your hand sanitizer, put your mask on, cuddle up on the couch in your hazmat suit. Whatever you do, tune in to The Man Perspective weekly.
Get your groove on, get your blanket on, and snuggle up with The Man Perspective. Each and every week on our podcast, Apple, iTunes. Check it out.
The one thing you can count on to always be there is The Man Perspective with K-Man
and the Don. Give some people $1 million, man, and before the end of the week, they're broke. You've heard the stories. You know what I mean?
Oh,
People
yeah.
who hit the lotto, man, and next thing you know, man, fucking the end of the week, they broke. How you broke, dude?
Yeah.
You just hit for $20 million.
Oh,
Well, I had to pay this,
oh.
and I owe that one, and I brought this, brought that. Next thing you know, you ain't got nothing.
Bought houses for everybody on the street, Corvettes for everybody on the street. 1 year later, they're broker than they were before they hit the lotto.
That's right. And then when you go back to those same people that you helped, what happened? They closed the door on you. You know who that happened to? Who was it? The MC Hammer, one of the rappers. That happened to him. Man, this guy had a lot of money back in the 80s, right? He had hit songs, right?
Yeah.
He used to roll with a big entourage, like 100 people or more. He brought all of them houses, brought all of them cars, everything, right?
Damn.
Until he ended up getting broke. And when he went back to those same people to say, hey, man, remember when I gave you that car and that house and this and that? They all closed their doors and turned their backs on him.
Wow.
He helped every single one of them. You follow what I'm saying? And they turned their backs on him just that fast.
Damn. That's messed up.
Okay. Yeah, very much so. But that's what happened. And same with lottery winners. I've heard stories, guys win, $100 million, brought cars for everybody, houses for everybody, all their friends, all their family, right? And not too much for them, but just doing it for everybody. And then when they became broke, they went to the same people, knocked on their doors. Hey, man, when I brought this house for you, cash and this and that. Oh, yeah. Well, I need some money. Can you help me out? Oh, no, I can't do nothing for you. Close the door.
Damn.
See what I'm saying? So you try to be nice, but sometimes being nice, you get a good foot kick in the behind, and that's about it.
Absolutely.
Your days of asking people for money, nah. When you got friends like that, stay away from them, man.
Yeah.
Stay
At this
away from
point,
them.
the bank is closed. So
Yeah, it's got to be close. It's got to be close. because they will hit you every chance they get. Once a week, twice a week if they can. You know what I mean? But they sure to hit you every month.
Yeah.
And you just have to be ready for it. And sometimes you have to say no. I know it's hard. Sometimes you can because people come with the stories. Don't think they're going to come with the stories.
Oh yeah.
Trust me, you hit lottery or you become a millionaire overnight, boy, people come out the woodwork. Oh, remember me? I'm your long lost cousin. And, you know, and I need a brain operation and, you know, help me out. And, you know, this one got cancer, that one got cancer. All these people that you don't know, all of a sudden they calling you up telling you that they related to you and they all got health problems and cancer and they need $500,000 for surgery. And I mean, come on, really? You know what I'm saying? You don't know what the deal is. You know, but you try to help as many as you can, but it's hard. You know what I mean? It just makes it that much more difficult to do it. But like I said, it's a tough game and it's hard to go by. So I don't know. But hey, get at us at themanperspective@gmail.com and hit us up and let us know your stories in regards to who owes you money and whether or not you lend out money to these people on a regular basis. The Man Perspective. Now you heard our perspective. It's time to hear yours. Get at us at themanperspective@gmail.com.
Or use the hashtag #TheManPerspective.